Warning, nuclear missile launched.
Let's first define the problem. Pop Mart aims to build a Disney-like empire on its IPs. Yet, its over-reliance on a few hits like Labubu makes it vulnerable. Once market interest declines, revenue falls sharply. Furthermore, its IPs often lack emotional depth, severely limiting long-term loyalty and leading to unstable performance. In this part, we use CPOC for definition and AI for brainstorming. To further understand these challenges, we must look at the key measurements. Labubu's market performance is evaluated through sales data, customer feedback, and secondary market prices. The sales data reveals a pattern of intermittent growth, yet the overall brand engagement remains unstable. Customer feedback consistently points to a lack of consistent innovation and emotional connection, which directly impacts long-term loyalty. Meanwhile, the fluctuations in resale prices on the secondary market signal deep uncertainties in consumer confidence and product desirability. This shows that while popular, Labubu's overall brand strength and emotional appeal require urgent enhancement. In this part, we use Process Map and AI for data cleaning. To analyze the root causes behind Labubu's market instability, we chose the fishbone diagram framework. Here, the fish head represents the problem, relatively short Labubu's life cycle. The fishbones represent various factors, for which we choose 4 factors to analyze: measurement, environment, method, and people. Under measurement, KPIs are overly focused on short-term sales and secondary market prices. Shifting to method, innovation is restricted by a lack of IP representation formats and single artist dependency. The environment presents a fierce competitive landscape, fast-changing consumer trends, and consumer fatigue. Finally, the people factor involves a hype-driven community and a collector mindset that can lead to fragile consumer engagement, making the brand vulnerable to demand fluctuations. Given these interconnected challenges, strategic improvement is important and urgent. We begin by analyzing the fundamental divergence in IP lifecycle models. Disney's Lina Bell, an engine of nostalgia, versus Pop Mart's trend-based Labubu. To quantify this gap, we use the QFD matrix, or the House of Quality, to translate vague consumer desires into concrete technical requirements. First, we identify the customer wants. Looking at the importance ratings, we see a crucial insight. Deep emotional connection and rich storylines are rated a perfect 5 out of 5. This contrasts sharply with diverse products, which only scores a 3. Clearly, consumers value the narrative soul of an IP over simple product accessibility. This priority is reflected in the competitive ranking. While the Labubu model earns a smiley face for diverse products, its core weakness is exposed by the red frowning faces stacking up under the low column. This indicates a significant failure in delivering the desired emotional connection and nostalgia compared to the story-rich Disney model. So the question is, how do we fix this narrative deficiency? We consult the technical design elements, the roof of the house. The answer is clear. Relying only on aesthetic design is insufficient. We must strategically integrate storytelling investment and robust IP governance. The final matrix calculation provides irrefutable data. Look at the total required effort scores. While aesthetic design scores a 14, storytelling investment skyrockets to a massive score of 147. This confirms the core strategy. Pop Mart must shift focus from product iteration to building a Labubu universe to transform their hit IP from a simple trend into a lasting cultural asset. After we've implemented all the improvement measures, the next crucial step is control. In the control phase, we apply statistical process control tools, specifically the X-bar mean control chart and the R-range control chart. These help us differentiate between noise and signal in our process, ensuring our market price management for Labubu remains in a controlled state. Our approach involves subgrouping. Daily or weekly, we collect 5 transaction prices for Labubu from different channels, such as Xianyu, Dewu, Qindao to form a subgroup. We then calculate the mean and range for each subgroup. Based on historical data, we establish the upper control limit and lower control limit for both the X-bar and R charts. If a point on the X-bar control chart falls outside its control limits, this acts as a signal. It indicates an abnormal surge or drop in Labubu's average market price, often due to special causes like sudden shifts in market demand or product scarcity. The R chart, on the other hand, monitors the price fluctuation range. If a point on the R chart exceeds its upper control limit, it means there's extreme price variability across different channels at the same time. This signifies high market instability, potentially requiring investigation into factors like inflation or competitive strategies. By continuously using the X-bar and R charts, Labubu can effectively distinguish between market noise and critical signals that require immediate intervention. This allows us to promptly identify and address abnormal price fluctuations, ensuring the market price process remains under control, thereby safeguarding brand image, consumer trust, and fostering long-term business stability. It all started with brainstorming to clear the fog. We defined the workflow with process maps, then moved to measure scrubbing data and using fishbone diagrams to spot cracks. After analyzing core issues, we used QFD to improve IP value retention, finally locking it down with X-bar charts for total control. From brainstorming to strict control, these digital allies empowered us to solidify the strategy and safeguard Labubu's value. We didn't work alone. Big thanks to ML and LLMs like ChatGPT and DeepSeek for synthesizing perspectives and extracting key data to keep Labubu safe.